Welcome, everybody. I'm Dr. Darren Mills and with Freedom Whole Health. And today we're going to talk about hair and tissue mineral analysis and the advantages of that. And I don't know if there's any disadvantages. If there are, I probably wasn't going to be in the research I did. I don't know what they would be if there are any. Um, I've been doing a hair tissue mineral analysis since I've started. Probably done not too many, but maybe 50 of them. So I've seen a lot of different things. I've seen a few people they had toxic metals in their body and they figured, then they had to do something about it. One person didn't do anything about it yet, but I don't know why. He said he just felt like he was going to be fine. So uh, he works in for the military and was doing a lot of soldering. So I suspect that was probably what was he was ingesting those chemicals as they were burning. Um, well, the good thing about hair analysis, that I was going to talk to you why I do it, and number one, it's non-invasive. So, if you get blood tests, to me they kind of hurt. I never look forward to a blood test, but with the hair analysis sample, you basically just take a swatch of hair, and it's not so much that you're gonna have a big clump taken out of your head. So it's good. I grab a little bit by I think they call it the nape or whatever, but it's the innermost part, and then I take a little bit off there, a little bit off here, a little bit off there, and it has a little scale that when it when that scale tips, you got enough hair, and then send it in a little envelope for the company to take a look at. And another reason to do hair analysis is it's accurate. This company has been doing these tests for, I mean, I think since like the 90s, so a long time. They do 50,000 tests a year, and it's a lot of tests. So I was doing the math on that, and they're about a $4 million company a year, so that's a pretty good sized company. Um, Another great thing about hair and tissue mineral analysis is that it encourages lifestyle change. So many times, if you get a blood test, I mean, they'll might give you a drug or supplement or some sort of a prescription that has some supplement element to it or something like that. But doesn't really talk about foods that you can eat and foods that interplay with one another and I'll show you that on some of these. That's why I wanted to share my screen. What will encourage calcium absorption and there's also charts that I have that show you um, what minerals are antagonistic to one another. So if you want to lower one, you'll just eat more foods that have the antagonistic mineral in it, and that's kind of cool. Um, And also, it provides nutritional supplement guidance. So sometimes it is not only helpful to have better foods, but also to have to get the supplements that'll help your body. Usually, what this is doing is it's clearing the metabolic pathway so that you can chelate metals out of your system and um, what else I was going to say about that? For your body to be able to detoxify, basically. And supplements can do that. Getting off of inflammation and inflammatory foods will also help do that. And time will also help do that. So again, how does it work? I think I said I take a swatch of hair and basically I send that off to the lab. Uh, in an envelope, and then the lab will put that into a solution of chemicals that help break down the hair into the minerals and things of that nature, so you could tell. what's actually going on with you. And what was I gonna say about that? Oh, they say you can't have your hair dyed. So if you've had your hair dyed within the last 2 to 3 weeks, probably have to wait for at least probably preferably a month to let your hair grow out because I'm gonna be cutting the hair closest to the scalp anyway, and then by that time it would have grown out enough where I can use the part that's not dyed if you have some dyed hair still left. Um, let's see here. I think that's it on that regard. So now I'll do my commercial. Freedom Whole Health, Darren Mills. If you like what I'm doing, please tell other people, have them come in and check us out. Use my services, buy some supplements at freedomwholehealth.com. You can get on and get a biotics research supplements. It's got a direct link. If anybody needs any help with that, let me know. Um, and tell people to about that as well. And that's I guess that's it. So again, freedomwholehealth.com. And my number is 502-410-1270. And thank you. I know y'all are our customers, so thank you for coming and supporting me and sharing everything. Um, so the next thing is how can this help achieve better health? And the good thing about hair analysis is it tells the person what the body needs as it needs it. So um, if say for instance your body is low in magnesium, it's going to let you know that, and you can either take a supplement or there's lots of foods high in magnesium. You can keep working through that with foods and things. If calcium is too high, you would again eat antagonistic foods that would be low to lower your calcium, and I believe that is magnesium. In fact, those are two that are antagonistic. It can also tell you what foods to avoid. So that was again what I would, if you're high in calcium, probably want to avoid foods high in calcium. So that makes a lot of sense from that standpoint. It was talking about in the little booklet I was reading, diet is the foods that you eat, nutrition is the foods that your body absorbs. I'm sure I've heard that before, but it's good to have that reminder. So it's good looking at the nutrition that's in your body that your body is actually assimilated to be you, to make up you. Um, it's customized to your needs. So again, that's another way of saying um, tell the body what it needs when it needs it, but a little bit different and said in a little different way. Um, it's good because Johnny might need something completely different than Sarah. I'm saying that, you know, from that standpoint, based on their environment. And so um yeah, I think I hit on all of that. So okay. Now we'll go on to I wanted to talk about the visual, uh a good visualization of how hair analysis relates to blood and urine sampling. Blood and urine sampling is like a snapshot of what's going on just at that instant. And hair analysis is much more like a video. It's what's been happening over the past 3, 4, 5 months on an average um, basis. Because as your hair grows, it's got those constituents in there coming from your internal body. So I think it's a neat way to do it. It's something that not a lot of people think about because everybody thinks about blood, 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 and I'm not a big fan of blood for a lot of reasons. Um, I think it can be useful in certain situations. And um, I prefer to look at it in a proactive approach if possible, so that we can be in our best health and not be afraid that our health is failing, those types of things. All right, now I want to share. It might take me a minute to figure out which ones are which, so I apologize. So we'll look at that. All right, let's see here. These are all 7, 8. I think the first ones. Oh, how that happened. 6 there. There you go. This is probably, yeah. So this report, can you all see that report okay? Anybody?
No,
Oh,
it's
No.
oh,
still the Windows
okay, shoot.
list.
All right, hold on. Let me see how I can do this.
Okay, I'm trying to put it back
We're
to the.
sharing. Hold on. Well, that's gonna be a bummer if I can't figure this out. Might take me a minute. All right. And y'all can't see that right now?
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
Okay. Let me try it with Adobe. Maybe that'll help. That it? Can you read that?
no.
Oh, there you go. Do you want Adobe to be? I don't think that'll do it, but we'll try it and see. And you don't see anything else other than the screen still.
Right.
Right, right. You
Okay.
did click the green share button, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something's happening.
With the black box.
Yeah.
To the black dot. Okay.
Box, two
That
black
box.
boxes,
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Two
and
rectangles
the blue circle, so something's happening.
with an arrow.
Probably if I keep playing around with this, it'll optimize for video sharing. Oh, that'll be good. Did that do anything?
It's got my
No.
name on it.
Oh, yes. Now,
You're a screen share.
You see something now? Hold on.
well,
Do you
there's a
see it big
mini
or little?
there's a mini one in the middle of the big one.
Little.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. We can live with that. That's getting
Yeah, it's okay.
so you can see this a little bit. You can see the calcium, magnesium, sodium, all of that.
Yes.
Yay! Well, I don't know how I did it, but I just kept fiddling with it, and this is better than nothing. So I'm gonna try to move this, but if I can't move it, then we're gonna. Yeah, is that better? Knock it out
Yeah.
here. That's best I got. So y'all can see it, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good. This is the main one that's important, I'd say. So this is Susie Sample, and she's 47, female, way back a long time ago, but anyhow, she's got a fast metabolism, so um we'll see what they say about old Susie Sample. She's low in calcium, she's borderline low in magnesium, low in potassium, low in copper, and then these are the normal range things, sulfur, cobalt. boron. Those are all trace minerals, they're important. They're very important. Iron is normal. And but figuring that out, that's good to know. Note that those things. This person, far as the toxic elements, is antimony, uranium, looks like arsenic, selenium, mercury, cadmium, lead, aluminum. So she's normal. She's low, or not really low. She's acceptable on aluminum, lead, mercury, uranium, and antimony. She's high in arsenic
Ooh.
and cadmium. So she's doing, I'm teasing that she's not doing very well, I would say. The arsenic, she's got an enemy somewhere, maybe.
Wow.
Just teasing. All right, so now geranium is high, and bismuth is acceptable. I can't read what that one is, unfortunately. Rubidium is low. Lithium is high. I don't know what that is. Platinum, probably. It's borderline high. Titanium, vanadium, she's high in tin. So she must have something going on. I would think that the tin wouldn't be a good one to be high in. So yeah, this is Susie's sample, and we'll go from there. Any questions about this one so far?
No,
All right. Let's see here. Now, this one is the next one. It's 34. Okay, can you all see this one?
Yep. Yes,
Thank you.
I can.
These are ratios, and I would think your ratio, yeah, you don't want to either low or high on these because these are nutritional. So it's important to have a balance. That's what the theme is this. You want it to be in that white acceptable range. You don't want it to be too high or too low. It looks like calcium in ratio to potassium. What's P? Yeah, I think that's potassium. Is low. So either your calcium is low or your potassium is high. So we could maybe look at that. We would look in that in better detail. In this one, your sodium is too high compared in I can't remember what K is. Magnesium, sodium. Sodium is that. And what's K? Lisa, what's K? Do you know? Lisa might not know. Hold on. I have to Google it. I think K is potassium. We're going to call it potassium for this. I think P is maybe phosphorus. So calcium to potassium is high. Zinc to copper is high. Sodium to magnesium is high. So this lady's got a lot going on, more than probably anybody here would, in all honesty. And then all of these toxic ratios, uh, they're on the acceptable range. What I don't see the arsenic. They didn't really have arsenic as one of those. So I suspect there's no obviously there's no acceptable range on those. Um, so actually the high is good. High is an acceptable range. Low would be heading towards low as calcium to lead. So evidently she had a fairly high lead reading.
Sorry, I was muted. K is potassium.
What'd you say?
Sorry, I was muted, but K is potassium.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Good job.
All right, now, there's that one. We'll look at this one. We'll do two more and we'll be done. So this was the example of what I was saying about they're going to give recommendations on foods to increase. You might do a sample and then wait a month or two and then take another hair sample after eating the foods that's been recommended higher in these foods, and they have their reasons, and it's not really I'm not going to get into great detail on it here. I could look that up on why these foods should be increased and things of that nature, but they're all pretty good for you type stuff. And since this person is a fast metabolizer, they're probably not worried about eating higher calorie stuff. Slower, a lot of times they're high on protein. They're going to tell you to eat a lot more protein, get off of the carbs, but they're not going to say that as much for this person probably. These are high copper foods, so this person has low copper. They're recommending that person eat these foods in order to get their copper up. Amino acids improve calcium absorption, so evidently their calcium wasn't super high. I can't remember exactly, but anyhow, this would help with calcium absorption. And a lot of protein, looks like to me. What's that? One more here. And then these are going to, and there was a lot more to this. I had a hard time scanning them in today for some reason, and I kind of gave up. But this is enough. It gives you a good example of what is going to be in this report. But there are probably 6 other pages that's going to give you some good information. Increased intake of milk products, reduce carbs. They're probably going to tell you that every single person, I guess, especially refined carbohydrates. And I think there's some wisdom to that. They're looking at unrefined carbs would be 33% of your caloric intake. Avoid, they're going to say this all the time: no sugar, avoid refined carbs, because the body can't heal if it's having to deal with inflammation. Food allergies, consumption of foods that one is sensitive. Okay. Oh, okay, so that's just telling you that some foods can have histamines, and to avoid these, because again, it will lead to inflammation, and you don't want, they're not wanting that. They're wanting to get things moving, getting things, the metabolic pathways opened, and if everything is inflamed, it's not going to move. So yeah, and it's going to tell you, here's another example of eating these foods will be high in magnesium, get your magnesium up. So I hope that gives you a good, good look at it. There's lots of ways to get healthy. This is certainly a really good one. I like this. I like doing a detox. I like that detox kit. To me, they do pretty close to the same thing. The difference is you get that nice bar graph, and you can see how your health is going in that direction that way. So, okay, I'm gonna stop her at the recording.